Hello everybody. Welcome to another session of learning. Leadership principles are very important to the leaders to know, understand and practice. Leaders who practice good principle see their team reach to their heights and give their full potential. Leaders who do not practice good principle see their team are struggling and not able to deliver to their potential. Let us jump to the PowerPoint presentation and understand the nitty-gritties of this 11 important principle. This will allow you to grow, allow your organization to grow, and it will make you an effective leader. And these principles are important to a team lead as well as to an executive director.
The first principle is build a great team. To lead a great team, you must first build a great team. This may sound like a tautology, but it is an essential leadership principle many leaders miss. By its nature, leading a team requires you to select the team members. Therefore, before leading anyone, you must first select the people you want on your team. Selecting the right people for a team is essential for team success. You won't be able to lead a team effectively if you have the wrong people on it. Building a great team is the first leadership principle that matters most. Let's go to the second principle. Hold everyone to the same standards. Sometimes it's tempting to treat high performers with lighter touch. However, high performers often earn that status because they hold themselves to a higher standard than their peers. It's tempting to treat high performers with lighter touch. However, high performers often earn that status because they hold themselves to a higher standard than their peers. That's why one of the most important principles for leaders to practice is holding everyone to the same standard. No exceptions, no excuses. All team members must adhere to the same standard. Why is this so important? Because it sends a clear message to everyone. I don't play favorites. I apply the same standards to everyone else on the team. It shows that you are fair and consistent and that your decisions are based on data, not personal feelings or biases. Let's go to the third principle. The third principle is to communicate clearly. Effective leaders know how to communicate clearly and effectively. They use specific language that their team members understand. Their emails, memos, and meeting summaries are clear and easy to understand. There is no doubt that this is important. However, many leaders take it for granted. They think it's given that they communicate well. It's not. Communication is a soft skill that needs to be practiced and refined over time. Just like any other skill, communication must be practiced and improved upon. The fourth principle is show care for employees. Show care for your subordinates. Great leaders show care for their employees. This includes the stars on your team and the other struggling employees. While most leaders focus on superstars and try to help them achieve even more, struggling employees are often forgotten. They need attention too. If you show care for employees, you will notice who is struggling and could use additional attention. You will reach out to those employees. You will offer to help them. You will ask what you can do to help them improve. If you care for employees, they will feel more loyal to you as a leader. They will work harder for you because they feel appreciated. The fifth principle is be a role model. As a leader, it becomes crucial to set an example. However, you must also be a role model. It means that you do what you say. You lead by example. You live the values that you espouse. You show that it's possible to walk the talk. If you say that you value integrity but you lie, you are not a role model. You are not a role model if you say that you value innovation but refuse to try new things. If you say that you value quality but don't care about the quality of your work, you are not a role model. Be a role model always. The sixth principle for good leadership is solve problem quickly. Great leaders solve problems quickly. They don't sit around and ponder the problems that their team members are facing. They don't ponder the problems that their customers are facing. Instead, they solve this problem as quickly as possible. Why is this so important? Because if you don't solve problems quickly, they'll drag down the entire organization. They'll create roadblocks that prevent team members from getting things done. They'll prevent customers from getting the solution they need. Solving problems quickly is essential for high performance team. It is also essential for high performance companies. Seventh principle is be a facilitator, not a decision maker. Great leaders aren't dictators who make every decision. Instead, they facilitate discussions, ask questions, let team members make their own decisions. This is important because it shows that you trust your team members. It shows that you are a great leader. You still must make the final call on certain decision. However, you can't make them all. You must allow team members to make some decisions on their own. You must allow them to voice their opinion. You must allow them to contribute their ideas. And the eighth principle is don't micromanage employees. Don't micromanage your subordinates. Micromanagement is a sign of distrust. It also shows that you are not comfortable with delegating responsibility. If you micromanage employees, they won't trust you. They'll think that you don't trust them to complete the task. They'll feel like you are hovering over them and watching their every move. This creates a toxic environment. It is also not sustainable. Eventually, you will burn out. Eventually, your employees will want to leave. Leadership principle matters because they impact the entire organization. They impact every team members, every customer. They impact meeting goals and achieving success. They impact the bottom line. The ninth principle is extreme ownership. As a leader, you have to be responsible for your all actions, activities, and whatever targets you are supposed to achieve. Any group or organization must be led by someone who accepts full responsibility for its success or failure. There is no one else to blame. The leader must accept the responsibility for his or her action, admit mistakes, devise a strategy for success. Leaders are accountable for establishing the team's strategic purpose, developing tactics, and procuring the training and resources necessary to fulfill the objective. Blame should not be cast upon the subordinates when they perform inadequately. The 10th principle is there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. Leadership is an essential skill in any field, and the ability to effectively lead a team can mean the difference between success and failure. However, it is important to remember that there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. A bad leader can take a group of talented individuals and turn them into a disorganized, unproductive mess. On the other hand, a good leader can take a group of average performers and turn them into a cohesive, high-performing team. The leadership principles are a set of guidelines that can help any leader become more effective. These principles include such things as clear goals, providing timely feedback, and creating an environment of trust and respect. By following this principle, leaders can ensure that the teams are able to perform at their best. Last but not the least, always as a leader, check the ego. As a leader, it is important to check your ego at the door. According to the leadership principle, one of the most important qualities of a leader is the ability to remain humble and open-minded. A leader who is too wrapped up in their own ego is likely to make poor decisions, alienate those they lead, and fail to see the bigger picture. While you are in a position of power, it can be easy to let your ego get the best of you. However, it is essential to remember that you are not always right, and that there will be times when you need to step back and listen to others. By checking your ego, you can become a more effective leader and create more positive work environment for everyone. These are the 11 important principles for this 2023 to implement and grow. Let's conclude what we have learned so far. These 11 leadership principles that we have outlined are timeless and will continue to be important in 2023. However, the way these principles are applied may change as technology advances and new generation of leaders enter the workforce. I encourage you to experiment with different methods and find what works best for you and your team. If you stay true to the fundamental tenets of good leadership, you should be able to succeed no matter what changes occur in the years ahead. Now, the important question is, how will you apply this principle in order to lead your team in 2023? Take it positively, pick up each of the principles and implement as early as possible so that you can grow. With this, I'll conclude today's session. I'll request, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, share with your friend, help me to push this video to the maximum audience so that they are also benefited. Thank you.